good. Now, what's his name? I can't remember his name. Why do I care? Why do I care? Clap! Happy Thursday, everyone. What a magical show we have planned for you. And that's because it's time once again for...
Everything is racist.
So, just the other day, I was sending a text to a close friend of mine. I'm lying. I'm making up an anecdote to kick off this monologue. I don't have any close friends other than my goldfish Abe, and even he hates me. But while sending the text, I wanted to end it with the right emoji, a thumbs up, if you will. The problem is I'm white, I know, spoiler, but usually I just use the emoji that pops up, the default thumbs up. It's kind of yellow, what's called these days Simpsons yellow. Now, except for that time I caught scurvy from Cat, I'm not cartoon yellow. I'm white, really white. So white, in fact, that I wear khakis to bed. Which means when I'm choosing the default thumbs up, which is canary yellow, aren't I cloaking my whiteness? Aren't I hiding my privilege? You might even call it appropriating. I'm white using a yellow thumb. So the question plagued me. I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat, I could barely look at myself in the mirror, which could have been fatal if I were Jesse Waters. All this time as a white man, I was identifying as a Simpson, and not even a hot one like Ashley or OJ. Well, thank God for NPR, because they tackled this dilemma for me. Yes, in between fun drives and profiles of trans sheep, they published an article on which skin color emoji should you use. The reply, which they supplied, the answer is more complex than you think. And that's because depending on your race, they could denote white privilege, especially if you use the yellow thumbs up emoji. That means if you're white, that you're ignorant of your own advantage in life, like being able to choose any emoji you want. Some people don't have that privilege, like some minorities and also careless woodshop teachers. By the way, even though I am white, my thumb identifies as a pinky. Now, the article is so important that it actually took 3 authors to put it together. Even my employees didn't laugh. That's 2 more authors than it took to write War and Peace, and 20 less than it took to write How I Saved the World. Their beef that many people of color are exhausted. That's the word they used. They're exhausted of having to grapple with their emoji issues, while white people just ignore it subconsciously. And even though we assume the yellow thumbs up is neutral, some academics, i.e. freaks, argue that when you make that choice, you're opting out of your commitment to awareness, which sounds interesting. Oh, who am I kidding? It's not interesting at all. I'm just sick and tired of talking about COVID and crime all the time, and I'm out of poop jokes since I started that juice cleanse. But COVID and crime are big problems, and it would be great if this emoji thing were so big an issue we could lead off the show with it. How awesome would your life be if all you had to deal with is being exhausted by emoji privilege? Hey, Joe, you look really down. You feeling okay? Yeah, I'm fine, but I was up until 4 this morning trying to decide how to sign off on a text. So you want to talk about actual privilege? The most privilegey thing is the existence of this article. Imagine the sheer lack of problems you have that would allow you to spend all this time and effort wondering if your emoji might be racist. I have an inkling that this is not a concern for parents of screaming kids. It's not a concern for anyone who truly works for a living. It's not a concern for anyone who has a sick relative. Not a concern for any victim of crime. This kind of concern only exists in people with woke privilege. Academics, people who really don't have to do anything but write silly little articles to show how smart they are. But these are pointless people, lucky to be alive in a really easy time to be alive. It's America 2022, Netflix, Uber, Pornhub, pot. Life's a breeze for the lazy and shiftless. By comparison, on this day in history, February 10th, 1862, a Union naval flotilla, which I believe is a boat with salsa and cheese, destroyed the Confederate Mosquito Fleet in the Battle of Elizabeth City in North Carolina. By the way, how hard is it to beat a fleet named after an insect you can kill with a fly swatter? Anyway, I bet you didn't know I was a history buff. I'm not. I just really like to read Wikipedia in the buff, which got me removed from the public library. But that battle, like so many that were waged, ensured that 160 years later, 3 losers could write an article about emojis. Back then, they had real problems. Hell, today we have real problems. Crime waves, inflation, COVID, Joe Biden. But in the woke world, those aren't concerns. Emojis are. Joe Rogan is. Hoop earrings. Remember when they were racist? It's problems like emojis and all that other crap that make academics feel important and NPR look enlightened. But in the real world, they don't accomplish a damn thing. It's stupid. So stupid, I'm giving them a thumbs down. And yeah, I'm using the wrong color and the wrong finger. Welcome to tonight's guests. When this lawyer approaches the bench, the judges run for cover. Former acting Attorney General Matt Whitaker. If he were a cereal, he'd be Raisin Cane. Fox and Friends weekend host Will Kane. She's like a vintage car, loud, shiny, and will break down when you least expect it. Fox News contributor Kat Tiff. And the whole 9 yards refers to his inseam. My massive sidekick and the NWA World Television Champion, Tyrus.
Hey, Greg.
Yes?
Greg, I noticed I'm the only woman here again. It's like Guys Town in here.
Guys Town, you
She
say.
doesn't know how we
Guys
identify.
Town.
You know, that's an interesting concept, Guys Town. I wonder what Guys Town would be like.
Guy Town, gambling with your buddies and lifting weights. Hey, beer is cool. Watching sports with your friends and being handsome. But it's okay if you're not handsome. Guy Town. Ow!
Yeah,
Guy Town. It sounds
Thursday's
awesome.
now going to be Guy Town.
Sweet.
Guy Town. You guys want to see a skit?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
forgot about the skit. We have a skit that was supposed to be in the monologue. I couldn't fit it in, but it's a skit. You want to see it?
Cat?
Yes.
Okay, let's see a skit.
Oh, hey, Stacy, just want to say great job on that presentation today. Really killed it.
Sure, it's all thumbs up to you. You're a white man.
This is Q1.
Oh, hey, Connor, great sales numbers, man. Keep it up.
Dude, my dad died picking up a hitchhiker that did that. That hitchhiker murdered him. So let's cool it with a thumbs up.
Oh, hey, Courtney, great job at the company softball game.
I am a devoted dog mom, all right? And they don't have thumbs, so that was really triggering for me just now.
Okay, fine. I'm getting rid of the thumbs up. And replacing it with these. Stick that in your NPR tote bags.
Well, there you go. It's Guy Town with skits. Will, last time I checked, you were white. What color emoji do you use? And how do you feel about this analysis of the emoji issue?
I use the yellow emoji.
Yes.
Greg, when I use emojis. Of course I do. Oh, see, there we go. Now, let me ask you a question, Tyrus. If you and I were texting, which
Right.
I don't have
It could happen.
I don't have,
Yeah.
I don't have your number, but maybe one day. If I sent you the white thumbs up, wouldn't you go, oh, look at Will. little white pride there. I went out of my way to opt out of the default yellow emoji to select the white thumb emoji, and that wouldn't raise your eyebrows?
That's a good point.
I do that.
My eyebrows would be raised that one dude was texting emoji to another dude. I'd be like,
I think that's
why
fair.
is he sending me emojis? He could have just said bye. So, yeah, but you're right. You made a great point because if I was having a bad day, I'd be like, this racist sitting trying to let me know he's white. Let me show him I'm white. Let me find the darkest thumb I can hit him back, you know?
It's true. They're causing us to overthink this. Matt, the other thing, too, is, you and I have to share the same thumb on the phone, but we're a different size. They don't have size options for thumbs.
They don't have size options. They don't have an option if I've been in Florida for a week. And so there's a lot of complications to the thumb. But this whole story made me want to go for that green throw-up emoji.
Yes.
Because the story should have been about the pregnant men emoji that is also available in your standard keyboard.
Matt, apparently you do not watch this show because we covered the pregnant man last week, didn't we?
They were all over that beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're the first.
In depth.
It was a whole show.
It was a whole show devoted to that.
Brett Baer.
Yeah, he came in. He was live on location at the pregnant emoji man's house, which is actually in the metaverse.
It was riveting.
Yes. Kat, you are what are you?
I'm a lot of things.
Yes. No, but in the age group, you're not. You're a
millennial.
You're a millennial. So when you talk to your millennial friends, what do they say? That is such a terrible.
You've never seemed
table.
older than you did just now.
I think you know what it is. I just don't care about the story.
Hey, Kat, what are all the kids in the street saying these days?
How do you do, fellow kids? Yeah, we need to all start learning Mandarin because we're done.
Yes.
Like, it's I use the white emojis.
You do?
And it's not because
Typical.
I'm confronting my it's just because I know what color I am, which I think, good for me, I guess. I just think that a better headline for this article would have been, neither I nor anyone I know has a real problem.
Right.
To try to criticize other people and say this is what, black people are really worried about this. I'm like, is that true?
Yeah.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah, it's a lot like when you were talking about Joe Rogan. And it was like, this is not something that is important on your radar. But it's something that is happening in the woke world with white leftists who think that this is important and that this needs to be solved.
Once again, Greg, I'm the only black guy on the show.
Yeah.
Let's roll black guy town. Where's the sketch?
That's next week. We're gonna do it. You don't know. I could be planning a big black guy town just for you.
Well, that was about as serious as this stupid story is. First world problems. They're getting out of hand. We have so many first world problems.
Yes.
We pay no attention to what's really going on. The fact that this even made the light of day, that somebody spends time trying to figure out what thumb color to send to somebody else. When don't you usually know the person you're texting?
Yeah.
It's not like I just found out.
Do you think these people have friends? The people that wrote that story have friends?
No, I think they literally they had a deadline.
Yeah.
And they got a thumbs up from their editor or their boss, and they're like, oh, I hate his, so I'm going to make it racist. I think that's what it was.
They quoted an emoji, someone who was an emoji researcher.
Yes.
That's not real.
That's the other thing. We should spend just one moment ridiculing the authors because it took 3 of them.
Let me be the contrarian for just 1 minute.
Okay, sure.
It could be that these authors are actually on the cutting edge. I have 2 sons. They spend a lot of time online.
Yes.
We're on the verge of the metaverse here.
Yes.
Then you get to select, they play Fortnite, your skin. They call it their skin. You can select your emoji you participate in life in very soon. We're all going to be there, or I'm not going to be, but a lot of people are going to be there. Kat will be there.
Are you sick?
Very soon.
Are you sick?
He says he's not going to be here.
I'm not joining the metaverse.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I'm staying in the metaverse. I'm going to stay in the real verse.
Oh, okay.
What about the thumb when you like someone's text? That's paper white.
Is it?
They didn't even comment about that. So I'm worried that 3 people didn't even look into the real issue here.
Right. You know what? They needed a 4th person.
Yep.
They needed a 4th person. They probably had
But I do the reverse thing, so the thumb is black when I do it, but I've never done it. And little correction, it's Avatar. And most of the kids are usually green, blue, purple, or something that hasn't been discovered yet with a unicorn horn. So they've completely just gone. My kids do it too. So.
All right.
And they have wings, lots of wings.
I think we really crushed this topic.
Best segment today.
Yeah, it's the best segment on Fox.
Brett Baer on line 1.
Yes, exactly. Tell him I'm busy. He always calls. He knows when I'm taping a show. He'll wait up.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.